This conference will now be
Okay.
recorded.
You are able to see my screen, right?
Oh, yeah. Now mine works. But yes,
Okay.
I was able to get it to work. I can share now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Let me make a presenter again. Yeah. Now you are the presenter. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is the image I was able to put, and this is I can show the code. Uh, yeah,
Okay.
is
Fine.
it correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So can you show me that output once? Okay. So have you observed one thing here?
Oh,
Close that
sorry.
developer tools. Close the developer tools. Yeah. And if you see the left side, that user testing and input field is there, no?
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you see that, so the space, whatever you have given the left side, I mean, both are not same, left and right.
that's how it
Right
was
side
in the
will have a lot of
original.
space. Really? Can you show me?
Yeah. Or no?
See?
Oh,
No,
never
no,
mind.
right? See, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I know because I mean, the other day I verified that, right? So I know like there is this same space. No, in general, like there is a best practice. No one will give wantedly extra space. Which something leads to give some bad experience to end user, obviously, right? So
Uh-huh.
when design is like that, let us say that UX design, like this
Mm-hmm.
Figma or any, I mean, if a user is interested, a client is interested to add some sort of space, that too, it should there should be some reason to give some space on top, right?
Mm.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
majority of the cases people will give same kind of space only. See, the point
Yeah.
is, by mistake, even though if like you are doing the UX work, right? By mistake, if
Mm-hmm.
you make additional space to it, you have to give a proper answer to client that why you gave that much extra space towards to write, because that is how that UX works. So there is a more accountability when compared with that each and individual role, like developer and all, right? Developer, like a
Mm-hmm.
backend person, UX person has a more accountability directly. These guys will handle client only. So whatever the color that you are adding, or whatever the space that you are adding, whatever the font that you are adding, and everything, you are accountable for it. You have to give proper explanation to it, why, or what is the reason to give, like in terms of adding colors, in terms of adding background images, right, for all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of padding. I didn't take account
No,
for
no, if you see
padding.
that padding you have given correct, but
Oh,
in
okay.
between,
Yeah.
okay, padding is same, but in between you have to make sure to add that the width of the input field, the width of the button should be 100%, so that within that width only it should be 100%. It is going to be occupied 100%.
Oh, okay.
That is how you should handle that.
Got it. Also, I was
Okay, so
struggling a lot.
what is the reference? I mean, what is the URL for it? The other day we discussed that. It is, what is that?
After,
Ask that
yeah.
user test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I'll show you. Okay, from my side. Okay. So any questions that you have
Uh, no.
about from this? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
actually,
then
yes,
fine.
yes, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Tell me. And make sure
how,
whenever whenever a question you have, that I suggest you to write somewhere in the notes, so that it will be easy
mm,
for you and for me also to track all of them.
mm. The
Yeah.
question I had is I was struggling a lot with resizing the background. How I did it here
What do,
was
what do you what do you mean by resizing that? Oh,
so I
this
had to,
background back. Mm-hmm.
so before I added this one, only like half of the thing was like it was like worse than this. It was
Okay.
so
Okay.
um
You
like
copied the properties from the website?
no, I actually had did it myself.
I mean, how would you know that there is a property called background size and how it will work? I mean, the value should be contained. How did you crack that?
Um, I was just randomly trying things out, but
No, no. See, I mean, what my intention is behind that, asking this question, like, you did good thing, but I
mhm.
really want to curiosity to know that, how you cracked that.
Okay, so the height was the problem, the issue from what I saw. Like, since this container ends around here, the image was stopping
Okay.
over here. So I was wondering why that happened. So I increased the height, and then
Mm-hmm.
that made the image too big, like it was on the corner. So then I thought, how do I contain it? And then that's when I thought of seeing if I can change the background size and make it contained into
But
like,
we didn't discuss the background size property during our sessions, right?
no, I just looked through it.
That's what I'm
Like,
asking. So, see,
mm,
if I tell you the property and values and all, right? Then if you made it, then yeah, I'm okay with that.
mm.
So we didn't cover that point, and you did a proper, correct method of writing property and value. How did you crack that? You Google it, or you find anywhere, or somebody gave some suggestion to you, or you did in YouTube? How you made that that background size property? Is the question I have.
I actually searched it up like randomly. I was like, what if there is a background size property? And then I looked through and then I saw contain.
Okay, so you find in Google.
No, just I was just typing it and then it popped up. Like I searched up background and
Okay,
then I saw size and I just tested
okay.
it.
I see. Okay, okay. That's what I'm asking. Okay, I mean,
Mm,
okay. So, one thing that any of the ways, like if you find something in the Google, that is also absolutely appreciation. Definitely will get from my side. And other hands, that even if you try, what are the properties that we have in the inspect element, like background set or something, that is
mhm.
definitely. I mean, I know I'm more happy that because you find that way in the developer tools. Okay, and right now how to handle that the developer tools, how you're gonna add the new properties and the values for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is really giving you some somewhat like confidence that okay, so you're on right track. Even if you find
Right.
that solution in Google also, definitely I won't be this much feel comfortable. But yeah, good thing that you find that in developer tools. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I told you, if you remember in the initial stage itself, if you know how to handle that developer tools, especially this writing that adding elements at the left side and adding properties the right side, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
are enough confidence to operate them or play with them, then you can learn 50 to 60% of UI stuff very easily. You don't need to go for any sort of tutorials or videos, because they also
Yeah.
end up there, they will also tell the same properties, but the
Mm-hmm.
explanation you will get from any of the internet source, right? It's like, or if you ask me, like what is the background size, I'll tell you. Or else if you ask me to Google, if you ask you Google, like what is the background size, Google will help you in terms of like technical terminology, like what is what.
Yeah.
The point is, as long as you practice that new properties and adding and all, right, then yeah, it is a good sign. Okay, okay, what is your
Okay.
question here? You understand that background size at what?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was the correct way.
Okay, so we'll explain. So I'll explain. Okay, apart from this, do you have any
Mm.
question?
If I want to make this image bigger, is there a way to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you have.
Like it's too much to this side and I want it centered.
Okay, okay, fine, no issues. We can charge. I'll explain the background story. No issues.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the site of that user? What is that?
Uh, you opt
Let
user
me.
test.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I got it now.
Mm.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Now, now if you see this, this is the center line, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you see that, so obviously when you have this, so this is more actually occupying that space. If you see this.
Mm.
Okay. So now we'll see that what is the property that they have added? Okay, now this they divided both of them two parts here. One is for the left side and second one is for the right side, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
this is the background image. It seems 2000 into 1600 pixels of dimensions that we have, right? And when it comes
Mm.
to this, what are the properties that we have here, first of all? And there is a property how we have is like I'll tell you. You remember that we discussed border property, right? When you have a border, in general, what is the properties of border width? Like 1 pixels, border style, solid, border. What is that next one? Color, some sort of red. So these are the individual properties where we can combine that as like border 1 pixels, solid, red, like
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
So what we call this shorthand property. So in the shorthand property itself, we can include everything. In the same
Mm.
way, we have for background also we have. Okay, bit better I can explain here as well. So background is the one shorthand property. Okay, where we can include all of them. So before like what all of them, so you should know it. What are the properties are available in CSS for a background? So we have background. When you put a hyphen, you'll get a lot of properties under background. Whatever you can see and everything you can put in the background property itself. Okay,
Mm. Mm.
background color. Right, let us say that let's say I'm giving red color here. If I want to use that shorthand property, background red, now both are same. If you see, it is striked out because the same property only I have given it the bottom,
Yeah.
right? And if you see this triangle, right, then you can see here what are the properties we can write under background.
Mm. Oh.
Okay, so this background color only we have applied here, right? Background hyphen color. So now the same property we have written when you made that background red. So it is the first initial one has striked out.
Mm.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what next? So we have background hyphen image. What is meant by background hyphen image? Okay. So you have asked me one question that how can we make text on the image itself?
Mm.
Usually, whenever you put the image and text, those never will come. Like text won't come on image or image won't come on text. That is a general case. They
Mm.
will come line by line. So the only
Yeah.
option we have is whenever we need some sort of requirement on the image, we need some text. That two ways we can handle that. One is that we can use position absolute property where you can put sort of image here, right? Okay,
Mm.
we'll test the same way. Now we have this image, right? Let me open so we have index here and where we have this image. All right. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some sort of text. What text will add? Okay. Say hello to BBQ Salman. Okay. Let me put this. Let me add some somewhat H3. Say hello to BBQ Salman, right?
Mm.
Now let us save this and reload this. So you can see in a different way because the image is different and text is different.
Mm.
But what you need say hello BBQ on this image itself, right?
Yeah.
So there are two options here. One is both are when you see this code, right? Both are under one parent element only, image area only. So in such a case, how we can do? I'm going to make this say hello. First, I'm going to make it position absolute. When you add a position absolute, which it will affect that. I mean, it should expect some default properties of that left, right, top, bottom properties when you add a position absolute. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add left 0, top 0. Now if I give top 0, what is coming? Where it is exactly? Do you see anywhere here?
No.
No, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
know where the X3 is there, this heading, somewhere here. See, now I'm
Mm.
holding that. It
Oh,
is
okay.
there behind this header because this header also fixed. And for this
Mm-hmm.
header, we gave that this Z index.
Yeah. To put
Okay,
it
did get
for.
this Z index. So now if I want to see this H3 also here, I want to give a more Z index to this H3 instead of no, what we gave for header is 9. Now if I gave 10, now it will be appear here,
Mm.
right? Because the Z, what is the use of the Z index? Whenever we have the elements of like position absolute or position fixed, right? Everything will
Mm.
come to this first place only, left 0, top 0. But we need to decide that which one needs to come first. I mean, in terms of seeing them.
Yeah.
So in order to give that, so we need to give a Z index. Whatever which element has highest Z index, that element will come first. Still, you can see the second element also because this is the simple text only, right? Even for this H3 also, let us say if you have like in a width 100% height, let's say example somewhat 80 pixels and background color is something red. Now see, it is completely covered here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the simple H3 earlier, so we can able to see only text along with that behind the header as well. Now I have covered this background color as a red color. Now it is Z index 10. Now let us go back to the header. Okay. Instead of
Mm.
9, I'm making this as 11. But what happened? 11 is highest, right? So header is visible. Header is showing first.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
It's like forward, backward. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me make the same as 9 for header and this H3 I want to add that, I mean I just added that Z index to explain that how Z index is works, and we don't need all of them. Okay, now we have H3 here, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
told you, right? Wherever the element it is, if you add a left 0, top 0 and position absolute, it will talk to the browser only straight away. So it is not going to relate to this image area where the image area is starting from here, right? It is
Yeah.
not listen. No, this H3 is not listening here because
So
what is the parent element? The parent element of the H3 is image area. So it should listen
yeah.
or it should under this image area only. But whenever we give position absolute left 0, top 0, it will come
So
out
you
of the image area and talks with browser. Yeah, you're saying something.
is
Tell
that
me.
is that when you do position relative
You are
to
right.
the image area?
Absolutely. Yes, yes. So in such a case, we are going to add position relative. Then immediately it will talk to this element only. Now you
Mm.
see. Within this
Yeah.
only we have left 0. So now instead of left 0 and top 0, what I'm going to add here is left 0 I'll keep as it is. Instead of top 0, I'm going to add bottom 0. Earlier it was a
Okay.
top 0 so that it comes top. Now bottom 0 I have, because whenever you applied a position absolute, you can move this entire element to anywhere, like somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here.
Okay. I have a question.
You can play with.
Um,
Yes.
when you do position absolute, can you still
Mhm.
add padding to the text?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You can add padding, you can add background color, you can add anything.
Mm,
Okay, so
I thought
now we
like
have this. Okay, so now left bottom. So bottom, we don't need this. No, there is some gap here, right? Even though there's some left
hmm
also. So instead
Yeah.
of the gap, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some sort of padding to it. Padding 20 pixels all the ways,
Mm,
right? See, now you can see padding also green color, right?
mm-hmm.
Padding is applied, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of 20, let me make 30. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a font size 35 pixels, color is white. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there is just some overlay here. Okay, that we can discuss that part later.
Mm,
Yeah, we can make like this. Okay,
okay.
now you understand. So this
Yeah.
is the one way. This is the one way where we can make text on top of the image. So now I'm going to make this font weight bold, and we can actually add some sort of shadow also to text that we didn't cover, but from today onwards, anyhow we are going to start like CSS3 properties and HTML5 elements, as
Mm,
we have to complete anyhow by this Friday. That is what we planned, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So now font weight is bold. Now if you put that in a text shadow, so there are a lot of options here to for text shadow. But what is the procedure, right? First, I'm going to add 0 pixels here, 0 pixels here, and 0 pixels here. I'm going to add some color to it.
So for bottom shadow.
No, no, text just to shadow. I just gave
Oh.
0 0 0 pixels. Now I'll tell you like why I gave it 0 pixels.
Mm,
Okay, and when I added three zeros here and some sort of color, you when you add all these properties, you will get this palette here, this
mm,
editor. Okay, short editor. And when you click on the short editor, you will see the same 0 pixels values, whatever I gave here. Now, X offset, I'm going to add a 5. See now, if you see this earlier, it was this start 0, right?
mm,
Now we can handle with this as well. Here also we can handle. You can see that shadow, right?
yeah.
Text shadow. Yeah. So instead of you can add that values here, or you can run the show with this icon also. I mean,
Mm,
this what we call this pointer.
mm,
Okay. And blur, now you can make the more blur. Whenever you're adding a blur, no, it's not like something that you won't see that actual words. So the shadow, real shadow will come.
mm,
See,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, you just click somewhere around, and instead of this black color, you can decrease the color as well. You can give any other colors, but in generally
Mm,
shadow view we are going to give somewhat related to black shadow or something ash color, right?
yeah.
Yeah, like this. Any question?
No, I understand.
Hmm. So now this text is something, say hello to Bibik Salman. So I gave this in the normal way, the same way how I given in the editor in the HTML good, the same way only I got. Now what I'm going to do is text transform. Whenever I give that transform capitalize, The first in each and every word, the first letter will become capital letter. When I make that lowercase, all will come lowercase. And yeah, when you made a uppercase, right, it will come everything as a uppercase. Now when you add that uppercase, then you can check that, is that shadow and all everything is coming in a correct way or not. If you want, you can increase any one of them,
Mm.
right? This is how also you can manage. And by the way, this is the one way to make the text on, to place the text on top of the image. Okay.
Okay.
And let me, we have image area right here somewhere. Image area. So first let me give that position option relative to it, the parent. And next, whatever the properties that we have, what I'm going to do is, instead of assigning one more class image area h3, right, it will also work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In such a case, let me save this and just reload this. Now you can see same thing,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
You're getting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the one way to handle this, right? And what is the second way? Second way is, I'm going to comment this. Now image area you won't get anything. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, in the image area I'm going to add one more class, one more div, class bg-image. What I'm going to do is, bg-image class I'm adding, and when it comes
Mm.
to this bg image, I'm going to add a property of background-image.
Mm.
Background-image. So the first thing that we have to do is, we have to mention the URL. In the
Mm.
URL itself, we have to write the same way how we are actually passing the path of the image. Now if you see this index.html, this is the HTML file, right?
Mm-hmm.
And earlier you have given how images slash. So because this is the HTML file you are working, and where exactly our image is located, in the images folder. So you have to write images slash so and so file name. This is the procedure to give the path. But right now you are not in the HTML page. You are in what? CSS page, because we are making image as a background image, not the direct HTML image. In such a case,
Mm.
how you need to, now you are in the style.css, right? What is the parent of the style.css is CSS folder. Now you should come out first in the style.css. You do not have a direct access of images, because you are not outside, like like index.html. If you are outside, style.css is outside of the CSS folder, like index.html, you can write a
Mm.
images slash and all. But right now you are in CSS folder. First, you should come out of the CSS folder to reach this entire place, this workspace. Then you can find the images folder and image. You're getting my point
Mm.
or no?
No, kind of.
Fine.
Not
You
ex-
can, I told you right to ask me
Yeah,
whenever
I
you
was just
if you
kind of.
feel that you don't understand. Okay. So now at least you understand this, right? How we are accessing this, and let
Yeah,
us
I.
assume that this. Okay. Let's
The
assume
only
this
thing
is the work area.
the only thing I don't
Tell
understand
me.
is how it's like. What do you mean by outside? Um.
Yes, I'll tell you. I'll tell
Yeah.
you. Okay. So now understands that this is the working area. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now in
Yeah.
this working area, you want to insert the image in HTML page. So now you have to write a element, write image src. Where is your image? Where your image is located? In
In
the
the full.
images folder only.
Mm.
So you have a direct access, because in this work area, you are, let's assume index.html is you. I'll tell you in a real generic example. Okay, how you want to, how I can, okay, fine. I understand one thing scenario. So how to explain to you? Okay, right now you are in your home.
Mm.
Okay, if you want to give something or take something, any one of your siblings or any one of your family, it is very easy for you because you are all are in the same house, right?
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
you were staying in the ground floor. Okay, let us say example that I'm just giving an example. Let us say that you
Yeah.
are in the ground floor. You have a
I am.
duplex house.
Mm.
Huh? Sorry.
I am on the ground floor.
Yeah, you are in the ground floor. Let's assume that in first floor you have a duplex house. In the first floor, some of your siblings or friends are staying there.
Mm.
Okay, so now you want to take something or you want to give something to them. How you'll do? You both are in the same house. Okay, like
Mm.
this files and all. But if you need some access, you will go to that room and you will take whatever you want. Right?
Yeah.
This is the one scenario where we are handling whenever we need something. We are in the HTML and if you want something in the images folder, you can straight away take because index.html and image folder both are in there in UI session only. That is your house. UI session is your house.
Mm.
Okay. UI session is your house. What is meant by UI session is a folder only. End of the day. UI session is the entire folder. Right. Now you are
Mhm.
here in the ground floor and somebody is staying in the first floor. If you need something, you have to go them. Right.
Mhm.
You have to go to them and you have to take something, right? So it's you have a direct access because you also there in the same house and your brother or sister or friend, whoever it is, they're also staying in the same home,
Mhm.
right? So it is very
Yeah.
easy access for you. Now you can straight away go for first floor and all.
Yeah.
Let's say example you want to take something as okay in some kind of transaction. Now imagine there is somebody who is in second floor or in the first floor in some corner room, right? So now they think that they want to give something to you. First they have to come out of their room, right? First, otherwise how can they will give it to you. They are staying in the first floor or second floor in one of the corner room. Okay, to give something, they have to come, right? First, they have to come out from their room wherever they are staying, right?
Mhm.
That's you're following.
Yeah, I'm following.
So yeah, so now what we are doing is we are going to insert the image not in HTML using with the CSS. What is the option that we have is background image. Okay. Now the
Mhm.
same way how we are giving the image path in the same way only we have to give the image path here also. But this path is completely different from this path. Why? Because you are writing background image in CSS folder. It is not directly related to images folder, right?
Mm.
Images
Yeah.
folder is completely outside of CSS folder.
Mhm.
But when you want to insert the image in the HTML from HTML point of view, it is not completely outside. I mean, you have a straight access to images folder, you have a straight access to fonts folder, you have a straight access to CSS folder also,
Mhm.
right? You're
Yeah.
getting?
Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah. So whenever you want something, you have a straight access. But when you are trying to insert the background image, you do not have a straight access because the image is not within the CSS folder. If the image is within the CSS folder, the same way works here as well, right? Like how the relation
Mhm.
between images folder and index.html. But where is the image right now? Where image has located? In the images folder. So to access any one of the image, you do not have a direct access. First, you should come out from the CSS folder to this UI session folder. So the workspace. Then you can find that where is the images folder. That is the reason we have to give it two dots here and this forward slash which come outside from the CSS folder. Now you have entire access here. Now let us say example you want to do something. Okay. Now I will show you. This is the background image URL, right? Now if I put images slash, it won't give any auto suggestions for me because this CSS file is expecting images folder under the CSS folder. When you
Mm.
write the images,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You're getting?
Mm-hmm.
Now you are writing something in the style.css, and if you write a path like this, images slash, it is expecting that images folder should be there beside this style.css. But in reality, do we have any images folder beside?
No. No.
No. But if you look at the HTML, when you write images slash, do we have a images folder beside the index.html? Yes, we have, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You're getting?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you are in C style.css, when you write a images slash, it won't give any auto suggestions because there is no images folder. But where is the images folder? Outside. So the images folder is beside of CSS folder, not style.css, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you see that this is the work cover UA session folder, images folder is there and CSS folder is there. So these both are siblings now, CSS folder and images folder,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And first we have to come out of the to find the image. Okay, this is a simple thing. No? To find the image, first you have
Mm.
to find the what is the way. Okay, now right now let's assume that I'm a CSS style.css file and I have written something like images. I'll find out images folder is there here or not. So if your images folder is not here, then it will throw another because there is no image folder. The path itself is wrong. Now what I should do, I should come out of that two dot forward slash. Now you can see you have a access for CSS folder, fonts folder, forms.html, images folder, JS folder, index.html. Because whenever you give a two dot slash, the path will come out of the CSS folder to this UI session, this working area. Then we can find here images again, same.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I think this is, I mean, this is very important. At the same time, when you see the sprite access, right, it is very
Oh.
easy because the file is located in the same working directory and the folder which you want to access, they're in the same working directory. In such a case, it's a straight road.
Mm.
Okay. But
Okay.
whenever you are working in the CS style.css, let us say instead of keeping the style.css, if I have a style.css here outside of this style.css, let's assume in such a
Mm.
case, background, sorry, body, background. Now it will ask images. Sorry, let me URL.
Just.
Now it will ask. See,
Mm.
because you are accessing style, you are writing something in the style.css. You have a direct
Mm.
access to images here, right?
Mm-hmm. So
You
if you
getting?
have multiple CSS folders, would it have the same effect?
No, no, come again. What is your question?
Like if there's multiple CSS folders for one HTML file,
Mm-hmm.
would would the would it be the same like for image, like
Yes,
getting an
yes,
image?
you are right.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. So end of the day, what you have to think, I mean, the main reason that to create that one more style.css here is to explain the path system, how we should take the path,
Mm.
how really path is going to work. because end of the day write the css and all, all the css properties, but the path, if you are giving a wrong path, then it fails. So what you have to what you have to think is two options. One is that if you want to keep the image with the html img using with img src, or if you want to insert the image using css property as a background image. First you have to decide based on the requirement. When there is only image, there is no requirement of making some text on the image and all, then you don't need any background image. Simply you can go with that normal image only, imgsrc. In such a case if you are writing something, okay, in the forms.html, let us say example, in the forms.html you want to, now you want to put some image here. How you will do? Img src. How you gonna write the path of the image? Now you tell me.
You would do dot dot slash.
Okay, so
Right, those.
now that is where the point. Okay, so why dot dot? Because you have a HTML here. You want to write
Mm,
images search here, and where the images
mm.
are located,
In the images folder.
you have a straight access no to it.
Yeah.
If you see like this, if you see like
Oh,
this, it
that.
will be easy, very easy. You have a straight access. Now, right now, you want
Mm,
to insert image in the forms, and you have a straight
mm,
access, right, to images.
mm.
Then why dot dot is required here? No, not required,
You
right?
don't. Yeah. So it would
Yeah.
just be
So in
images.
such, yeah, in such a case, you can simply place like this,
Okay.
right? In the
Yeah.
same way, you have a style.css outside of, I mean, not in the CSS folder. Okay, outside of CSS
Mm,
you have. Now, if you want to write the image, same way, right? Whether it is a
mm,
HTML tag or background CSS background image, you have a access images access straight access.
mm.
You don't need to keep the two dots and forward slash here, right?
Yeah.
But in such a scenario, let me delete this. Instead of that, if you decided to write images straight away without dots, if you decided to write images folder straight away, do you have a straight access here?
No.
Do we have any images folder under the CSS? No, right?
No. Mm-hmm.
So you should come out of the CSS folder to find the where is the images folder. It can be images folder, it can be something else. Let us say if you want to access something in the fonts, okay. Same way, when you give it two dots and no, you add that some forward slash and just now enter whatever the access that you have under the UI session, whatever the folders or files are there under the UI session, everything is visible here because
Mm.
you come out of the css folder, even including css folder also you can able to see now, right?
Yeah.
Because when you add the two dots and slash, you straight away come out of this ua session folder only. Now you landed into ua session folder. Now you landed into ua session folder. Now you can access
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want.
Mm.
Instead of that, if you are not adding any two dots and all, if you are straight away like in images, so how it is going to find in the css folder?
It
It will
can't. There is
check
no.
like this,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 second. When the 21 came? Oh, Sunday. Okay. You're getting my point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now images. Let me make solomon.png. Now let us save. Now I have added solomon.png, right?
Uh-huh.
Now we have given a correct path, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to content, you have given the image, path is correct, bgimg. You can check the path also. Okay, something is wrong. Salmon PNG, the image is not coming here in a correct way. What is the image name that we gave in the HTML? WebP, right? Let me make this WebP, right? Just reload this. Okay, now still you are able to see the image. This is the actual
No.
image, right?
Yeah.
No, why? Because you have given the correct path, but you didn't mention the proper dimensions to it.
Mm.
Okay, so you can give straight away the same way 1248 pixels to 1248 pixels, but whenever we are giving a background image, always it's suggestible to write width 100%, height, let's say example 100%. But whenever you give that width, it works 100%, but you have to mention proper height within the pixels only. So now what I'm going to do is 500 pixels. When I'm adding the 500 pixels, what is coming? So this is the whole area, image area, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
image area, I added that BG image. Width I gave 100% and height I gave a 500 pixels. Whenever you added dimensions like this, you won't get that entire image here.
Mm.
Okay, so in terms of making all these changes, we have a lot of options, but background size cover.
Mm-hmm.
When you put a cover, right? Let us say
Mm-hmm.
this now you are going to remove width 100%, but height is required for us. Okay, but when you
Mm-hmm.
add a background size property as a cover, so it is going to cover entire thing.
Mm.
Okay,
Is
and you can increase the height if you want.
mm. Is there a way
Okay,
to do
and
border?
sorry.
Is there a way to do border radius?
Yeah, we can everything we can do. So in the
Okay.
background size itself, we have a couple of values. Auto
Mm-hmm.
contain. When you add a content, see, sorry,
Yeah, it repeats, right?
yeah. So when you add a content, you can see that it is going to be repeated.
Mm-hmm.
So to stop that, what we are going to do is we are going to add a one more property of background repeat no
Mm.
repeat.
Mm.
So when you add a no repeat, there is a few situations where we need to do repeat the images. We
Yeah,
have to
I
do
can.
if you find some tutorials, you will get it that. So there is some situations where there is a requirement to repeat the images.
That would be for like scrolling, right?
Yeah, I mean not exactly scrolling. I'll tell you when the
Mm.
situation comes. Okay, that too in the repeat also we have different options. Repeat is the common default property. To stop that, we're gonna use that no repeat. And in such a case, we can make that repeat x-axis and y-axis. So x is that horizontal, y is that vertical.
Mm.
Okay, so right now we need what? No repeat and auto contain cover. When you add a cover, obviously that entire image will be fitting into this cover. But if you sometimes you may see background size instead of cover, you can see like 100% also. This also works. So you can increase the height. Let us say that I'm going to make that 600 pixels. So now you can see. But yeah, let us reduce this to 580 or something. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is for this BG image, I'm going to make border radius 16 pixels. See, now you got that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One second. Let me put charger for it.
Mm.
Yeah. Now you can apply this border radius 16 pixels as well. Whatever we applied earlier. I don't remember how much we applied, but the same thing only we made.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
16 pixels
15.
only. Yeah, 16 pixels. Now in such a case, you can handle this. So this not this upgrade area. So this BG image is what I'm going to do is I'm going to still make it that with 100%, but still there is no use. But I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put under this BG image.
Mm.
Just reload this. Now what I'm going to do here is whatever the text that we have this right H3. Now I'm keeping here. Reload the page. Where is your H3? Because for
At the
this
bottom.
H3 by the way you already gave that. properties, right, for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I'm going to do is instead of H3, you will see some difference on here. Now you can see somewhere here.
Mm.
But still, if you need some positions, you can add that positions to it. But the only thing that the difference here comparatively previous and now, by default, when you add a text, this is the background image. Straight away you can able to see the text here,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
when you made that image and text both are different, text was displaying something here after the image, right? That is the
Mm-hmm.
difference. Yeah, so if you make add some what we call some sort of display flex and all, if you apply, I think let us try that. Display flex. I think for one property, I'm not sure whether it works or not. Yep, it is working. Where it is? Start. Yeah, now we got this flex end. Now we got right.
Mm-hmm.
And now for this H2, you can apply whatever the properties that you applied for the H3, right? Except that position absolutes and all. Still you can apply here for this H2 under the BG image. So we will get the same thing. Now, okay, let me do what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two properties for the BG image. And within the BG image, we have what? H2. BG image is H2. In the H2,
Mm-hmm.
instead of this position absolute and all, right, I'm not going to use any of these first three. The rest three are related to text only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let us save this. See the same
Mm.
output you got. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable this as well. Now see. By the way, where is the this thing? I see.
H2.
Now this H3 is we have written
Mm-hmm.
that position values, right? Somewhere it is there here as here also. I believe.
So it's double. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this H3 also here, and if you see this H2 also here only same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now if let me make this display none, still you will able to see the H3 here. That is the reason you can able to see that. Say
Mm-hmm.
hello. H2 we
Yeah.
have apply display none, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to make it, what you can do not, you can give a one more div to it. Okay, so you can add a one more div to it to see the difference. Div. So I'm going to add what? Class is equal to HTML image. For this HTML, what I am going to use here, just this position relative only, because this is under this HTML image only we added that absolute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just reload this page. Now see. Now you tell me like which one we did with background image, which one we did in an image. So now we only return the code, then we can easily say tell that.
Yeah.
But in general cases, right?
Yeah.
I get
So which
yeah,
one's
both outputs
better?
are
Okay.
no, that is based on the requirement only. No,
Okay.
that is based on the requirement. And when you see this is a bit complicated because we are using that absolute and also the same way we have to handle responsive mobile devices as well.
Mm.
This is simple background image and we use that display plex,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
There is no position properties and left to right. All this stuff is not, we didn't add anything, right? There is no stuff
Yeah.
related to the position and that. Clear?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we have our session entirely. Now we spend on this only. It's like okay, but
Yeah.
yeah, we covered like few properties in today, like that the Z index and text transform and text shadow, right? And how
Mm-hmm.
to apply that. I hope you understand that. uh, like how you're gonna handle that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll explain two more properties and we'll close the session.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have one thing, and how we are actually applying that borders and all in the same way we can apply the borders as well for this, like border 1 pixels solid. Same way, if you see that we have a border, to make this we can add up, right? This also
Mm-hmm.
we can. And this, where is the, yeah, border radius. So again, in the border radius also, if you, this is the shorthand property, and when you enable this, right, this is the actual
Mm-hmm.
values: top left,
Yeah.
top right, bottom left, and bottom right. There is no such a rule that four corners should be on the same value. Whenever you add a four values here, like 16 pixels top left, and top right you don't want to give anything, so 0 you can add. Then bottom left you want to add a 0, and bottom right you want to add 16 pixel. Let us see how it is going to be work. Right, now you can see
Mm.
the corner
Yeah.
we have only on this left only.
Mm-hmm.
So on right side there is no border radius, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the same way, you can, I mean, you should check that, what is the property, how we have written. Or you need something, let's say example, if you think that you need a space only this corner and this corner only. So that means bottom right radius should be 16 pixels, left radius should be 16. So instead of this, we are going to make this 16 pixels, and this is gonna be a 0 pixels.
Mm.
And border stuff, I'm just making this, right? See,
Mm-hmm.
now you can increase this more. 32, 32.
In the original, it's like a bit above the image, like there's space between the border and the image. How do you do that?
Sorry, come again.
In the
What do you mean?
original,
What? Mm-hmm.
uh oh, I think it was the old image, but there was the border had spacing in between the image.
Border has spacing. You mean to say this border?
Yeah, like it was offset by a few pixels.
And then in such a case, we need to add a padding only here. There is no other
Okay.
alternative for it. Padding, let us say if I give 5 pixels,
Mm. Okay.
but do you think?
Mm.
Yeah, no. Because we gave that when you put some, okay, this is a pure background image, right? Okay, it
Mm.
works as a normal div only. When you add, let's say example, when you add a padding, right, it won't create any gap because this is a pure background image. But instead of that, let us say if you enable this one, let me save this is the first one, right? Now if you apply some padding to it, and now you can apply some border to it, right?
Mm.
Now within this border also you can fill any color, like you can apply background, right?
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything is within your hands only. The only thing do it. You have to practice, and whenever based on the requirement. So the only simple funda, Darshana. Okay. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
practice, and whenever you stuck, right? So
Uh-huh.
simply Google it and tell that your requirement to Google. Okay. Or better to use Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so I want to
Mm-hmm.
add something space on it or something like that. Give some proper prompts to ChatGPT or proper prompt to Google search engine. See, because the point is, see, I cannot, all the cases, like I cannot give that some sort of solutions, right? So when our
Mhm.
session will ends, right? Maybe I'll give you a mail access to you, like wherever you feel stuck, and you can still you can reach me through email or any of the other channel if you're stuck. But the point is, we definitely we cannot connect every day, right? Like this.
Mm.
Agree. Once our session is done,
Yeah.
we cannot connect every day like this, right?
Yeah.
So, what I'm trying to suggest you is, you practice how much time you can, and wherever you stuck, just Google it and do that chat GPT so that it will give a solution to it. So
Mm.
use it. But still, if you are
Okay.
facing anything, so that we can connect and we can see when you're really in trouble, or when you are really focusing, but still you are not getting, that is a different story altogether, right? We can
Mm.
sort it out any of the channel using
Mm.
mails. But when always you have to practice and you have to do the task alone only, even if you get the job also, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
that is the case. In the same way, how we have the okay, let me reload this. Let me comment this again. And the same way, how we have the textured shadow. In the same way, also we have a box shadow as well. If you remember, for the text shadow, by default, I gave it 3 zeros and color, right? 0 pixels,
Mhm.
space 0 pixels, 0 pixels, and some color. But for box shadow, we have to give it 4 zeros. And you can ask me, like, do we really require to give it zeros by default like this? No, this is my working style, I'm telling. Because
Mm.
we don't know what exactly shading we need until you add some value, until you add some positive value on it, right? So
Yeah.
temporary, what I'm going to do is whenever we need a shadow, let us add that 3 0 pixels and some sort of color. When I need a box shadow, add a 4 zeros, then one color. Then I'll click on this shadow editor.
Mm.
Okay. Then from here I'm going to use that. So now the three zeros for the text shadow is one is for X offset, Y offset, and bulk. If you remember the text shadow editor, we can see blur also. Now in the box
Mhm.
shadow, additionally we have added one more property. I mean one more line here is for a spread, where we
Mm.
can spread the color as well. Okay. And now if you see this background color, I gave a black, right?
Mhm.
And this is a plus and this is a spread.
Mm.
Now if I make this something like this, okay, but definitely these are going to be bad for sure if you give like this.
Mhm.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
spread we can give some, and color we can increase more. At least we can feel that there is some shadow on it.
Mhm. Wait, so is this CSS3 or
Sorry, is this? Yeah, we are doing all is the CSS only, no?
yeah.
Yeah. Now whenever you did some changes that based on your requirement, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, spread maximum spread, don't give much spread, okay? So that less
Mhm.
spread only. So all the properties and all will be coming like this. See now you can see the shadow, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So in shadow also we have two styles. One is that outside in the sense which comes outside of this entire object, and when you select that inset, right, it will come under this.
Mm.
Okay, again the same all these properties and all I mean this editor and all also will work in the same way, right? Are you
Yeah.
getting?
Mhm.
Yeah. This is how the box shadow works.
Okay.
Clear? Any question?
It's clear.
So what, yeah, so what we covered, like, how to create that background image and text, and how to use that position absolute relate in the based on the requirement, text shadow, box shadow, border radius, text transform, Z index, right?
Hmm.
Keep everything in your mind and use all of them while you are doing practice.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
so now I at least now what my expectation is, right? So whenever you see a template, I don't want you to feel fear. As
Mm.
long as you feel that okay, I think maybe they did something, some padding or some margin, some border radius and all, and whenever you feel that my job is done, I feel very happy for it, because the first,
Mm.
that is the first initial thing, no. As I mean, if you are not aware of the technology, if you are not aware of the HTML and CSS, you may wonder that on how they created all this UI and all. But as long as you are learning, even the learning path, and you're learning everything and step by step, okay, and if you feel that still a blank, like how they made the website, then all my efforts will be wasted, right? Hope you're getting the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope that whenever you see a website, right, I'm hoping that you don't feel any fear, or you don't feel that how they made, wow, not kind of, not something kind of feeling you have, right?
Mm.
I mean, how you are feeling, that is what actually I'm trying to ask
Oh,
you.
oh. Um, I don't feel fear, but it's like I do get stuck. Like once I get stuck, I'm stuck for a very long time, and then suddenly
Okay,
it'll
it's like,
come to me.
okay, I mean, at least, I mean, when you compare previously, like before the
Oh yeah.
before you join these sessions and all, and now you
Hmm.
join, and now see, before is something you don't know how they build and all, right?
Yeah. Not,
Now at
I
least you
do feel more
understand something,
Yeah, I
right?
understand
No,
it.
no.
Like I can look at a website and know which one to
Ah,
start on.
exactly. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is what I'm I'm not
Yeah.
trying to grab from you. So whenever you see a new website, right, you don't
Hmm.
feel that, oh, how they made all this. No, that definitely, when you feel like that, all my efforts will be gone. But if you feel that, okay, maybe they have used all these properties like display flex here, or border radius here, or some back box shadows here, at least if you feel like that, no? Yeah.
Yeah. Even in my head, I'm like I can tell which one to do first. I can sort of imagine what
Okay.
it could be.
Yeah, yeah, that's very important. When you see any website, right, if you feel that, okay, how much padding that they took, okay, this is the margin, this is the padding, okay, this is something they use position properties, and when you are seeing in the same kind of mindset, no, so you slowly you can write the code in a better way, and you can complete the tasks and all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anything else we have?
No.